Hey guys, since we have talked about top 10 Heffalumps over the videos, I'm going to go to a newer version of the top 5 with the top 5 Woozles. Whenever there's a Heffalump, there's always a Woozle. And here are the top 5 of my favorites, and a few honorable mentions as well. Number 5, the Flute Woozle. This one comes in towards the end of the song where Pooh comes out of a rope with a honey jar in it, and the Woozle is playing a little flute, making him come out of it like a snake. I like this one a lot because it's very funny and cute the way it comes out. I also found like it's very funny and wacky to see. And his little hat is fun too. Number 4, the Jack and the Beanstalk Woozle. The Jack in the Box Woozle. This one is very, 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 very funny. I like this one a lot. Considering it's a very classic character within the Heffalumps and Woozles scene. Because it's in the ride, you see it in there. So it's like a Jack in the Box, but you see a Woozle face on there with his tongue sticking out. It's really funny and really cool. Some people might be a little scary, but in a way it's a very fun and interesting Woozle character. Number 3, Spotted Woozle. This one is, well, briefly in the beginning, but I like him so much at how he describes a Woozle and a Heffalump as well, that they can be striped or polka dot. And just the way he looks is just amazing. And I think he's in most Funko Pop versions the way you see him. So I think he's a really cool and really good way to start off the scene about where Heffalumps and Woozles are. Number 2, Trumpet Woozle. Oh, this one's a very classic one to me because he plays a trumpet in a parade along with any other Woozles, marching ones, in fact, which I'll mention in another video. Anyway, this one is really interesting at how he plays a trumpet on his nose. Number 1, Stan Woozle. This one is a very iconic one in that he's only in the Winnie the Pooh and Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the new adventures anyway, where he teams up with another Heffalump, which I mentioned in the previous video. And they're a comic duo that kind of create some evil tension around the 100-Acre Wood. They would kidnap the friends or Cassie or any of the other characters within the franchise and the videos. They would just cause some problems for the fears they need to solve. Anyway, he's a very fun and very smart character. He's like the brains of the whole thing. And the Heffalump is basically the brawn. So it's basically a very fun and they're very funny to see. Anyway, those are all the Woozles from my top list. And here are a few honorable mentions I would really love to mention in this video as well. Christopher Robin's boss. This one's not really a Woozle exactly, but there's the fact that Christopher Robin calls him a Woozle in Christopher Robin, the live-action version. He calls him one, so I just want to mention it right here. Because of how he works, and how evil he is. To him, anyway. Heffalump eating honey. This one has been mentioned a lot within the... This is one I did not mention within my top 5, so I want to mention it here today. He's the one that eats Pooh's honey right away in front of his Checkered Woozle. This one was only a brief moment, but it's one of the first Woozles you see. With his checkered look and its very funny glare. It's pretty interesting to look at. This one also turns into the Checkered Heffalump before that I mentioned in the last one. So it's not anything too special, but I like to mention it right here. The Heffalump from the Broadway show. Now, this one is not really known too well. I just recently saw the Winnie the Pooh Broadway show. This was a new performance. I recommend you go and see it if it's in your area. But unfortunately, it's not in New York at this moment. It'll probably be in some other area eventually, but it was the last time it was performed in New York. So if you want to see it now, you might want to think about where it's going to be next. Anyway, this adaptation of Winnie the Pooh is very interesting. It was made into a stage musical with puppets. And they didn't really show any Heffalumps in this one, but they did briefly mention it when Mr. Robin said we need to capture a Heffalump, just for imagination, and he just really mentioned it as a cameo. So, all in all, it's not really a very memorable Heffalump, but it's definitely worth mentioning right here. Marching Woozles. These guys only appear in the parade, along with the Heffalump trumpet guy and the trumpet Woozle. Other than that, they don't really they don't really do much. So I just want to mention them right here as well. The red Woozle. The red Woozle only shows up for 1 minute with a hat. There's many Heffalumps and Woozles that turn to hats in this version, what the wearing the hat symbolizes, so it changes. This one was shown only briefly for 1 moment. It has and they have a weird conniving looking faces too, making them look scary a little bit. Batong Woozle. This one I like a lot, and I wish it was on the list, but unfortunately, there were so many other that it couldn't just fit on the list. So unfortunately, it had to be taken out. But let's look and mention it right here and say that I liked it. And that is all the Woozles that are in with a poo. So I hope you enjoyed this top 5 and a few honorable mentions about them. And if you want me to talk about more about these Heffalumps and Woozles, tell me in your thoughts in the comments below. I hope I like to help talk about more about these eventually because it was a really great idea. Thank you, my friend Andreas, for mentioning this particular video. I've been making a lot of these, and I want to know what you guys think about them. And I want to know if you guys want me to make more about them and analyze more about them too. We'll see later on, but tell me what you guys think in the comments I should do next with these Heffalumps and Woozles. And I'll see you next time.